Okay, let's get into it. We're doing a deep dive today on a really interesting piece called BentBox Success: Why Daily Promotion Outweighs Constant Uploads.
Right, and it's all about making money on platforms, like BentBox.
Yeah, and this source, it kind of goes straight for a big assumption a lot of creators have.
Oh yeah, the idea that if you just keep pushing out new content, like constantly, day after day, that's the path. More uploads equals more sales. Simple, right?
That's definitely the default thinking for so many people. Just, build up that library.
But this piece says, well, hold on. It argues the reality can be pretty different for a lot of creators out there.
It suggests that uploading, well, that's maybe the easier part of the equation.
Exactly, selling the content,
Yeah.
getting people to actually pay. That's where the real challenge lies.
The source points out you see creators with just hundreds, maybe even thousands of videos.
Huge libraries.
And yet, maybe they're pulling in, what, barely $100 a month sometimes?
Right, so the volume itself isn't guaranteeing the income. Something else is missing. It suggests the bottleneck isn't really creation. It's visibility. It's converting interest into sales.
So that's kind of our focus for this deep dive, figuring out why. Why this source argues that consistent, daily promotion isn't just a nice to have.
It's essential. Absolutely crucial.
Yeah, the vital missing piece, if you actually want to earn money, not just, collect digital files, it's about putting your effort somewhere else.
And the source really treats this like a business, doesn't it? If earning income is the goal on BentBox, then, well, business rules apply, meaning marketing and promotion are central. Creation builds your, let's say, inventory.
Yeah.
But it's the promotion that actually brings people into your virtual store to buy something.
And they use a really good analogy to make this point stick. Think about Coca-Cola.
Right. Coca-Cola, I mean, probably the most recognized brand literally on the entire planet. Everyone knows Coke.
Absolutely everyone. Yet, what do they still do?
They spend huge amounts of money and effort on advertising. Constantly. Every single day.
So the source kind of poses the question.
Yeah, if a brand that massive, that universally known, needs that constant daily promotion to keep sales up and growing.
Then why on earth would an individual creator, someone basically building a brand from scratch, think they don't need to be actively promoting? Really dedicating serious time to it daily.
It completely flips the script, doesn't it?
It really does. The source is basically saying the creator's making real money, significant income, on BentBox. They're not primarily defined by how many videos they happen to upload this week.
No, they're defined by how consistently and how actively they promoted themselves, their account, their content today.
So the real job isn't just making the content.
Not if you want to monetize seriously, no. It's the active stuff you do after hitting upload. Pushing it out there, engaging with potential customers, driving traffic, that kind of thing.
And these are specific actions, things that need doing daily, not just, whenever you upload something new.
Precisely.
Which I guess brings up a good question for you listening. If you're a creator trying to earn, where does most of your daily effort actually go?
Is it mainly into creating the next piece of content to add to the pile?
Or is a good chunk of your time, a dedicated, significant part, spent on actively, daily, getting the stuff you already have seen by the right audience?
Because the source is pretty blunt about it. It says the difference between low earners and high earners often isn't the size or even the quality of the library.
It's what?
It's the consistency, the effectiveness of their daily promotional grind.
Okay, so wrapping this up, the main takeaway from this source material seems crystal clear.
Yeah.
For creators on platforms like BentBox wanting to monetize, it's less about just churning out uploads constantly.
And much more about that strategic daily grind of promotion and engagement. That's the key differentiator.
That's what separates low earnings from potentially significant income.
And thinking back to that Coca-Cola example one last time,
right?
A brand everyone knows still advertising nonstop. Maybe the question for creators isn't if you need to promote, but really, how much focused daily effort are you genuinely putting into getting seen versus just, making more stuff?
Definitely something to think about for your own approach.